Hey everyone, it's Char from Char's Fascination. Y'all are going to see this a lot. I think the only adjustment I'm going to do on this is lower the neckline. I might just do it in a V. Did you know that you could just take that down here? You can just go ahead and gather it right there or take it down. That's another way to do it. Joy does hers different. And I would suggest that if you're going to do this, make your center cut and then go ahead and be it as may it be. There's also other ways to lower that neckline, or every time I go like this, it does fit good. But we're not here for that. You saw that thumbnail. I'm sewing for my friend Jonna, her granddaughter, her great granddaughter that's on the way any moment now, any day, since her granddaughter's still dilating, but they haven't bothered to induce anything else, like break the water already. Get that baby out. She's been in there too long. Anyway, so for the baby, I will be using this. For Anne, I will be using this. Anne is Jonna's granddaughter's name. And I'm also sewing for Pauline, which is Pandora Muse 57 Nails. And I'm using this for Anne. It is a faux denim. It does have a bit of a stretch. Not a whole lot, but there's a bit of a stretch. It's a one-way stretch. You would think it would be a two-way. Well, maybe it is two-way. So there's that. And then there's this stretchy fabric here, which I'm going to use for Anne. And then I'm going to use this beautiful fabric. Now the liner part of it is this side and it's soft. And there are two different shades, you can tell. I just don't have my lights on today because, well, it is kind of strangely bright and warm. Bixby, today's weather for Quinton Township. She's acting stupid today. Bixby, today's weather for Quinton Township, New Jersey. It looks like something went wrong. There's always something wrong. Anyway, so y'all never know where I live, except for certain people. I think we all need to keep our privacy. So this I will probably do the rolled hem. This is going to be a jacket. Winter's coming. Winter is coming, y'all. So, and then for Pauline, I was going to use this for Rich, but then I realized he already has something made out of this kind of fabric. So I'm going to make something for Pauline out of that. And then I'm going to make this into something real beautiful for Jonna. Girl, I might actually surprise you with maybe that being something else that's extra useful, and use a different fabric for the one garment that you want. And then do the same thing for Pauline. This could be a jacket, and then I'll just pull a different fabric for Pauline and make a pajama, because I think this would be better as a jacket because it is a heavier fabric. And the same thing goes with the other black fabric. So what I'm going to do, because thank goodness I cleaned up the table, thank goodness, is move some of this fabric over. I will try to see how many garments I can get done in a day. Like if I make this into a shirt, that's not going to take too long, because I have, do I have that dolman right here? I put that back in there. Anyway, I have one dolman sleeve pattern. Now this here it's very stretchy. It's like this, it's very stretchy. So, quite frankly, with a sleeve, I'll try to find something that I could match with this. Then I can make something like this for Anne, because I believe there's more than enough of this fabric here. There is, that I can do that. So, which won't take too long after I'm done with what I'm making for Anne's little baby girl. Now with this, I will add some lace. Will I sew on buttons? No. No, I won't. Unless, of course, I use the technique on the sewing machine with the straight stitch. This is already on a straight stitch. Or doing that technique. This is what I mean about this. Is why is there a hole? Probably because I've been tugging on it a lot and that came loose. So I'll just fix that. But I do love this garment. It just needs a couple adjustments. Whatever. Anyway, so let's get on to this and we'll be back with that. Okay, so what I have done was quickly drafted a little girl's dress pattern. Again, I can draft my own patterns. I could think of something that, like, boom, in split second decision how to draft the pattern. So this fits well on this fabric, which I've already cut the 2 pieces. And look, I've got a lot left. So technically it could be 2 different styles. Or that over there could be like a cute little pink matchy jacket thing, which I think would be cute. So I think something like this a baby could grow into, which is always good. Now think about that when you are drafting a pattern. You want to make sure that it is something that a child could grow into. Now, yes, the sleeve holes are like that, but I will be bringing that, back a little bit. And there's no zipper to this. This is something that you just slip onto a child. If I wanted to do button, I would do a decorative button. In fact, I have some that might match this. I believe I do have some really cute decorative buttons somewhere. I know I have them. Goodness, I always have my decorative stuff. Oh yeah, I see them. So I keep them in like the little cubby of my desk. So give me a minute and pull some cute buttons for this. And I'll figure out a lace along the way. Trying to think. Not these ones. These are cute, but not those ones. Oh, here's some. Like these cute little pink buttons, which they're a little bit darker than the fabric. Or I'm going to do something kind of like, that's cutesy too. So there are choices. The little blue buttons don't really go with that. So there are choices between the pink button and the green button. I think the green button is a little too big for a child's garment, so we might go with those cute pink buttons. Now the other thing I could do if I wanted right up here is just put the little buttons there and make a adjustable shoulder strap, which would work for a child's garment. So that's also a thing to keep in mind when you're drafting a pattern. Do you need to draft it so that you can do that and then make it so that's more adjustable, which always think about these things when you're learning to draft your own patterns. Now, you never need to do a bust adjustment because it is a child. You don't need to do that. And quite frankly, if you want to make it so as they get older, they could still sort of wear the garment, and I'm going to say up until they're like 1 years old, maybe put like a cute pocket on there, maybe like a pocket right here if you wanted. That way, like, they have their one pocket, or they could have 2 pockets. You could either put a pocket here at an angle, like this. This is the piece from the neck, so quite frankly, you could also use that draft you a little bit bigger or a little bit bigger and just have it here, right? You get what I mean by that? It's like doing that coverall pocket right there. Basically, this is the girl's version of a I'm gonna say, what the heck is that one dress? Anyway, I'll think of the name of that later. I know the name of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, let me get this cut, because what I'm going to do is put right side to right side and make it right. Gotta make it right. I'm thinking of the back. Right side to right side. No, that's not. Did I have it the right way the first time? When you have a fabric like this, sometimes it can be hard to tell which one's the front, which one's the back. Anyway, I'm going to get this cut and then we'll be right back. A pinafore, that's what I was thinking. Now, I'm going to cut the front piece. Now, the back piece, I will make right here at the shoulders, right? I will make that longer, right? So making that longer, making that piece longer means that that's where the adjustable strapping will be. Will that be easier? Absolutely. So that means that the child can go from wearing it as a baby, seeing as it's long, it'll be long enough to cover from obviously the neckline over the feet because of winter. Would I do a onesie version of this? If I did a onesie version, it would have to have the elastic around the ankle. I don't want to do that on a child's ankle. So for a little girl or a little boy, if you did a jumper for them, don't put the elastic at the ankle. That is not comfortable. I mean, you would have to have it a little loose is what I'm saying. So, like I was saying, this is the front. What I have done was cut it, honestly, put it like this so that what there is also adds that seam allowance. Gosh dang it. I gotta get one of those cutting mats for my table, even though I have one over here. I always keep that one on my desk. Hold on. Now that I have the cutting mat over here, well, that's the cleanest spot on my desk that's unscathed by scissors and rotary cutter. Now it's time to use the rotary cutter. Oh, laugh about it, because sometimes we all just have that day. I keep thinking like, oh, I need to, why is that loose? That's never been loose. Huh. That's never been loose. That's dangerous. Okay. Now that we've gotten that taken care of, sort of. Well, gosh dang it. I know, like, I just don't have fabric weights. I don't have fabric weights. I do have a bunch of crystals, though. Sometimes I use those. Anyway, I'm going to finish cutting this out. Something else I want to remind people of when you're cutting a back portion, which is that's what we're on now. Remember to cut it wider than the front portion, because our backs, even as a baby, our backs are wider than the front. With that said, so before I forget to show you this part, I put the cute little pocket on there already. And I just want to sew some lace around it. So, you know, I don't like sewing pins. So I am just carefully, because remember, this is for a little girl. And so I'm just carefully laying the lace around. It takes some skill to be able to do this. No joke. It takes some skill to be able to sew it on a curve and turn it and place it as you are going on this curve. Now, no, I did not use the witch stitchery or the fusible webbing to put the pocket on before putting it down. I just kind of eyed it and it went straight. Isn't that great? Straight is great on this. With sewing. Straight enough. So, like I said, it does take some sort of skill to be able to master the technique of being able to eye something and lay it out. So you guys will probably see this, even though I'm sewing on a Saturday, you'll probably see this on a Tuesday. Maybe. Maybe. Now, why did I do it like this? Some people might ask. And I made sure the lace was a little longer than it needed to be, because we can always clip that back and have that little tiny extra piece for in case we need it. Never know what it might want to go on, so, or need to be on. So, carefully clip that away. Now that it's like this, you could just basically now take it, tack it back down, because you need to do that. Okay, you're going to put this back on there because you need to tack down the other part, the outer part of this lace, so that it is, clean that up a bit, so that this lays flat enough. It's already on there. You just need to finish tacking it down, and that's really about it. Before we do a boo-boo here, let's make sure we have that flattened. as you can see, I am curving as I go because of the lace shaping. So that is another thing that you want to keep in mind when you are doing this. And then you want to make sure that you're also not sewing too quick. Okay, so I'll be back with the lace on here. I don't know if it's better without the light on. There we go. I'll just remember that, not to have the background light on, because it does that. And having you here on this part of the desk helps you see it better. Now, I am starting to sew down the other half. This is just the side. Oops, sorry about that. That's just the side of it. And on the side, obviously, I'm going with a straight stitch. I was going to do a decorative stitch just on the around the neck and all, but I'm not sure. And for those of you that wonder about lighting, if I change the lighting on this one light, it does help it a little bit, but for some setting. Now, one thing I can't wait to buy for this is that serger foot. So that when I go to do projects like this, it'll just trim it away on the edge after adjustments and stuff. So okay, so there's that. Let's bring this back out a bit. So that you can see this part. And I will trim this back, but what I will do is bring out the pinking shear for that. So, like I said, this is for a baby. So I think so far, oh my God, that's adorable. This is adorable. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I amaze myself with my skills. I'm not gonna lie. But now it will be trim around the neckline on the front, which will be, you know, roll it and stitch it. If I want to put lace there, then I'll do it, but I don't think around a neckline of a pinafore like this that you should necessarily do that. I'm glad it's long though. So when you're doing, obviously now I don't need to mark that back and front. You know, I always mark the blue for back and any other color for front. And also clean up my threads. Don't dread, just clean up that thread. So like I said, now when I do the neckline on a lot of garments, again, I do a straight stitch on this because I'm not going to be working at a curve, okay? You're going to be working at a curve, and then I will stitch a button down or make the loop piece, because you guys know sometimes I make that little loop piece that goes on there. Will I do that with this? Probably. The only other way to do this to make it adjustable here, there's some other ways to do that. I just don't feel like doing it this time. Now, I will suggest that you press this if you if you have any like technical issues. A lot of times I'll just clip it back, or just go ahead, and you want to make sure this is, again, inside out. And then you can also take scrap pieces like this, and because you know that quilt I'm working on for the same baby, you can also take your scrap pieces and add it to the quilt. So like this is a piece of the quilt fabric. Quilts are not meant to be all matchy-matchy. Same thing, you know. Oh, and before I throw this back on there, this is some of the stitches I had thought about. I'm not sure how well you can see that. So they're all different, and yeah, I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah. So now that we have it this way, what I will do, to the point of obvious, turn this back on, and let's make sure that this is proper there. And then you can just take this, go like that. Now, a lot of people can't just do this part, okay? That's what I'm saying. If you haven't been sewing that long, press it back, or you can even use the fusible webbing, or you can pin it back, whatever makes you more comfortable. On this, yes, I could put a collar, but I don't feel like it. Also could have used a vintage pattern that I have. But I preferred this time to obviously draft my own. Now, at that curve, gently and carefully. A lot of people clip. I just very gently and carefully ease the fabric. You could say manipulate, but this is not manipulating or contouring or stuff like that. Contouring your fabric into going in a certain direction. No, it's not that. You are getting your fabric to go how you need on that curve. So you're coercing your fabric to lay a specific way. I think my friend Viv was sewing for a relative's child this year, and I believe Joy is too. So that just means that the three of us are sewing for other people for babies. That's always fun. You know, I'll leave Joy and Viv in the description, or a link in the description box, because Joy is the one that I get a lot of my patterns from now off of Amazon. And she gives me little tips on things that she does for certain patterns, which I do appreciate. Now, isn't that nice? That's a nice collar. Of course, I will iron this so it lays nice. And now you just want to do on this part, thank goodness this is the inner part, up this. Make sure you have it turned right, or that's going to be a boo-boo. Now, this is the strap, right? So when it comes down to the strap part, do the same thing, because you don't want to take it and just go like that, because then that's going to make the neck and the armhole lay funny, if that makes some sense. Because when you're done, you're literally going to tuck this like that, and then that's going to hold right there. You see what I mean? So it's still a nice roll hem. If you wanted to, you could do a double roll, but then that makes that thinner up top. The other thing about this is you can also, if you have it, I don't have the bias binding. I can make some. I could make some bias binding if I wanted. Honestly, not hard to do. Ow. Yeah, be careful. Like, I slipped a little bit. Don't slip and hurt yourself, okay? In a little bit, I have to go make some dinner because I need to eat soon. I don't know if anybody else out there has been waking up kind of dizzy. It could just be the effect of my medicine. So this is going to come out nice and clean like this. So I'm just going to finish this part up and we'll be back. So now that I have this mostly sewn, all I have to do is the bottom and then this right here. That'll be tomorrow because it's starting to get late. So tomorrow I will just trim up the bottom and, you know, roll hem, make it look cute. Now on the bottom I will add lace to that. The same lace, obviously, because it wouldn't look right if it wasn't. So, get all this extra stuff off there, goodness. So, that will go along the bottom. Like I said, it's, you know, put that up like that. That'll look cute along the bottom for a little girl's dress. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, they told me the name. I'm not going to tell you. That's their thing. So what I'll do is I'll try to make sure that the lace kind of hangs down below the edge of this. So, I mean, if I did it in layers, that might look kind of funny, you know. Plus, you don't want too much of it for a baby. And then, yes, as you can see, it is stretchy. And that's always good. And we'll be back tomorrow to finish up the rest. Okay, well, as you know, I have most of this done. So on the bottom of it, I just have it double roll. And then when I'm done with that, I will add some lace to the bottom. But first, for those button loops, you know I do this. So we need to get this done. And of course, you know, I'll take out 2 more pink buttons. That way it's adjustable. Don't mind me, my foot freaking itchies. But, so now let's do these. I really think these buttons are adorable with that. It's just cuteness for a baby. Babies can be cute even when they're kind of weird looking. You ever see the awkward looking babies? Not their fault. Not their fault at all. You know, there's some awkward looking babies in the world. Poor things. But when I'm done with that, when I'm done with this one, I I don't know if you all remember this fabric, right? Do you remember this fabric? And the fact that I have more of this pink fabric left. That's gonna look cute over it. So I've decided I'll make a second dress different style. Sorry for my voice crack. My God, holy crap. I've just been kind of tired today. You know how it gets, the fall season and all. One thing to look forward to is something that I do with my friend Kay Lilla every year is fall into nails. And we do some nail art at least once a year for fall. And we have fun. So that's actually coming up on the 16th at 6 p.m. I don't know if that's 6 p.m. her time or my time. Put 6 p.m. So you can always look forward to that as well. And yes, I know I haven't been bringing you too many sewing videos lately. I have a lot on my plate. A lot on my plate. So does Rob. And now that things from the south are coming up this way, or I should say are already here. So, okay. So you know it looks like that. If most of you know what I'm talking about, things from the south that we don't need that in a small town or in any town, quite frankly. So that has unfortunately reached our town. Yeah, like I said, unfortunately. I hope that hasn't impacted any of you. Okay, so now that we have these, and I'll just trim away the little end pieces there. Make America safe again. Oh my God. Okay, so bring it back out. I was in my mind, I was already supposed to have this done today. Excuse me, like, my vocal cords are just atrocious today. Maybe it's because I'm allergic to bullshit, just like everybody else. We're all allergic to bullshit, aren't we? And you all know what the fuck I mean. You know, we're all humans, but we all deserve our sanctity and security. And yes, I do understand that there's more than enough of this. What I need to do is make sure that when I have this on here, right, have it secure on here, that it's enough to keep the button from slipping, you know. I know that'll make sense to a lot of people out there. Like I said, everybody deserves sanctity and security in their life. Oh yeah, that's going to be adorable. Look at that. And then the little button, that should be able, we can test that while it's like this to make sure that it's just snug enough to go ahead and let that button through. That is snug enough. So yes, I always make 2 sometimes for these in case I need it for any flu boos, or just in case I need it. So for your sanctity and security in the world, don't forget that we all deserve not just freedom, but the ability to stay safe. No, this is not a gun ad. No, this is not an ad for any security system. Because quite frankly, the one that we have, ADT, is a failed security system. ADT is supposed to be home security that keeps you safe no matter where you are, and they have failed. You have failed us, ADT. Seriously failed us. People constantly break into the house and ransack Rob's office, and that's not safe. Because a couple of times we have literally found the cat in a whole different section of the house where he wasn't where we left when we left the house. Okay, why does that not look right? I'll figure that out in a minute. Anyway, so now that we have this like this, let's pull the machine back over here. This is going to be an awkward part of this for a lot of people seeing me. So this is going to be like, what? Why do you just still have the little clicky thing on there? Because the first thing you want to do with this is you just want to take that one and just go ahead and slip it under your presser foot. Go like this. Put the needle down in, and you should do that because that is going to be layers of material. And if you have to, do that. Take that one off. Take your scissors, my friends. Hold that down with your scissors. Right? Just a little better here. And then you can just do that. And button loop number 1. And that's all you have to do, and then like clean that up, which is quite to the point of obvious. And then that's how it looks. It looks nice. And it's cute. And like I said, it'll be easy for that button to go through there. It'll be snug enough, but not too tight that the button can't go through. So I'm going to finish the bottom of this now. I just wanted to show you that real quick. So on the bottom piece of this, I'm just going to go ahead and sew it, and then when we come back, I'm going to put the lace on. Before I do that, like, let me figure out what the heck. Sometimes these things can happen. Remember to press your foot down. Put your foot down. Put your foot down sometime, people. And say, gosh, let's fix this part. Got to try to make sure that all ends on this are even, otherwise it's going to go weird. This time I did not lay the seam open. I did that on purpose. But what I'm trying to do right here is try to make sure this is even as possible. Because that just don't look like it laid right with the rest of it. So just adjust something if you think it don't look right. There we go, because that material looked a little pinchy. So, okay, like I said, now we're just going to take this on here. And then, gosh, that still ain't laying right. I'll do it anyway. It'll lay down. It'll lay down once I get this going. And sometimes the material accidentally gets pinchy under that. Under the clips. But anyway, I'm going to do this part and then we'll come back and put the lace on the bottom. Now, there are different ways to put the lace on. I know it looks all crinkly and everything. That's just because I need to press it. Don't worry about that. Different ways to do the lace on here. One would just be to start at one end. You can do this. Just start at one end and end it back there. Okay, that is one way to just go ahead and do that. Now I honestly just want the lace to be able to come down off of the edge just a little bit. And I'm thinking to myself, do I want to do it that way with the roll? Or do I just want to take it and do two different strips? Now I can do two different strips. I can even take little pieces of this lace, just kind of sew it on the front like that, work its way down and then have it hanging off the bottom. But I'm like, you know what? We can simplify this in a couple of different ways. Like I was saying, the part with the roll. And that way you're holding on to that as you're working it along. So I just wanted to cut off some extra pieces anyway, so that I have those in case I actually need them. So now we will come back over to the machine and then I will show you some steps on this with the doing that part. Okay, with the doing that part, which sounds weird now, but because I said it weird. So we're obviously going to start here. And now all I'm really going to do is take this along here. You know what? That's why I don't have that big part on here. Like the whole piece. Because I use the sleeve cuff area a lot. I really do. And you can use it for either doing dresses, sleeves, pant cuff, whatever you want to do it, or however you want to do that. You can do that way. Now, we just make sure that our fabric is laying correctly, and you can go ahead and either you can put it down in your lap. You could just put it down in your lap. Try to make sure everything is laying correct so that What it won't do is yank that lace out of your hand or off the garment or off your lap. Or if you're like me and you vacuum your floor before you do a project, you could probably just go ahead and drop the lace like I just did. Just go ahead and drop the lace. That way you're not kind of nervous to do this, because it can be rather nerve-wracking if you are not experienced in sewing. So let's make sure that we're getting that right. Now with this part, I will suggest that you go slower. And if I don't speak for a moment, it's because I'm concentrating. I'm sure you understand that. This is a part of sewing where you literally have to concentrate. You mess up on this with the straight stitch, oh, that's a nightmare to pick. A literal nightmare to try to pick out. Then you would end up ruining your lace as well. So I'm going to be back with this completely sewn and the finished product. Okay, so I finally have it finished, and I did put the lace on there like that. This is the bottom, obviously, and the buttons are on there. Well, two of the buttons. Now I did this with the sewing machine, putting the buttons on. You see how that works with those loops? You don't have to worry about that coming loose. The little pocket, I just have to press the dress. And the lace, I think that laid on there really nicely. So I had sent the little stuffy to Jonna for Anne to have for her baby, for whenever that child pops out. poor Anne. And then so if you haven't seen that video, go over and watch that video. It's a good video. It's when Jonna got her winnings, and it just so happens to be that I sent a crocheted stuffy for Anne's baby. And girl, I hope you have that baby soon. Anyway, this is folded up just as small as a Siab, like a shirt in a box. So this little square fit in a very small box. I'm sure I have one around here somewhere to put tiny baby clothes in. So anyway, the next thing I have for that, I did show you this fabric, and it looks really cute over this pink. Look at that. That is so cute. So I will be drafting another dress. You know, I have drafted the one that I made. And yeah, so I already have a video for Wednesday already recorded, uploaded, and scheduled. So this will be a Tuesday video. So I do hope that you enjoy the video. I really do. I hope you enjoyed the video. And remember to stay happy, stay healthy, stay positive, and as always, stay blessed. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.